diving at Barracuda Point near the island of Sipadan, 10 miles off the coast of Malaysian Borneo in the state of Sabah. This year, it's been voted the top place to dive on planet Earth. That's because below me, there are 600 types of coral and hundreds of species of reef fish. It's so valuable to the tourism industry that it's guarded by the Malaysian military. That was genuinely a very special experience, seeing not only the amount of fish, but also the diversity of the coral here. But while this slice of paradise is heavily protected, just a few miles away, an environmental disaster is unfolding. One that's threatening the people who live on the islands off this coast. The island of Mabul is home to families from the Bajau Lao, a nomadic people who survive on what they can get from the sea. Traditionally, they lived on boats, but these families have now put down roots on land. Hello. Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Ben. Yeah. I've arrived at what should be a happy time for Sulban Mihil and his wife Anora. Who's this little guy? He looks like a new arrival. It turns out they're worried they won't have enough food for the baby, so they're considering giving him away. Anora says it's hard enough to feed their other 4 children. Sulban tells me this year he's struggling to catch any fish. But he's going to try his luck on a coral reef a mile offshore that he thinks offers the best chance for tonight's dinner. His daughter, Lady Heart, goes with him. He's spent a lifetime mastering this traditional Bajau way of fishing, but each dive is dangerous.
Sebelum aku songatuhun aku tiparaku, aku napasku, puasa hap napasku, panaku, jadi puasa tuhun na.
He's trained himself to dive as deep as 30 meters and to hold his breath for up to 5 minutes at a time. By regulating his breathing, he's able to control his buoyancy and walk on the seabed. The pressure from the dive could damage his ears. And if he comes up too fast, he risks getting nitrogen bubbles trapped in his blood that can cause paralysis. Did you catch anything?
Kebiasaan ko bersama takut kering na. Jadi ani abaya mo ko gelas jadi hairan aku sali na tak na kapatuan na bila na.
It's quite hard to understand that someone has to go to that length just to get a meal. He was sure he'd find fish. But after 4 dives with no sign of fish worth eating, he gives up. Sulban is a victim of overfishing. Close to where he's been diving, I count 7 trawlers. Tonight, Sulban and his family will go hungry. So that's it. No fish means this is all they get tonight. Rice. The Bajau are nomadic, so they don't have citizenship. As a result, Sulban's family has little access to education or healthcare. He tells me 6 of his children have died due to disease and malnutrition. It's clearly quite hard for Sulban to accept that he can't always put food on the table for his family. This is a man who's already lost 6 of his kids, which is just unbelievable to comprehend. And he's brought a new one into the world. And at the moment, it's looking like it's only going to keep getting more difficult to provide for his family. In the morning, everyone's hungry. I find Lady Hart foraging for sea urchins on the shore. This just shows you how much these guys live off the sea. What does it taste like? Does it taste like fish? Was that a good catch?
Ya takut tuh hari kirim kasih ke panen kami mana jero aku mangan.
Do you think one day you might move away from a bull and go and live in the city?
Ani mereka wilayahku mari laut itu maksudnya mereka membandal itu ini apa sigam ini karita sigalam apa sigalam.
Speaking to people in the village, I discover another reason why the reefs around here are so barren. As competition for fish intensifies, fishermen are resorting to throwing handmade bombs into the water to kill large amounts of fish at once. They call it fish bombing. Sulban told me that there's a guy in the village who decided to try out fish blasting for himself, and it backfired and blew his entire arm off. So I'm going to meet him and try and figure out what drove him to do this.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. So can you explain what happened to your arm?
Simpan aku di tengah-tengah dia perahu. Tapi dia meletup macet. Yang macet itu ada meletup. Nah, ikut dia meletup. Tapi meletup ikut aku ke atas, turun aku balik. Yang bot bocor. Ada dia jumpa sama aku, dia satu bot. Nah, itulah aku hidup. Kalau tidak ada, mati aku.
So this is all the one blast? As well as ripping off his arm, the bomb tore open his leg and his stomach. It just seems like a big risk to take, to use a bomb just to get some food.
Ini aku takut kawan dia ada ikut sama aku. Dia tunjuk sama aku. Begini. Nah, itu aku try. Tapi ini asal kasih tahu sama aku bahaya. Kalau aku tidak pandai, bahaya itu.
Would you ever try it again?
Tidak aku berani sekarang. Bahaya. Mintalah kita izin, bagus lagi hidup.
That was his one and only time trying fish blasting, and it's changed his life forever. And despite the risks and the eventualities of using these things, he's telling me that there's still people using these methods. In fact, I'm hearing that more and more people are resorting to fish bombing. I want to track down somebody who's doing it. Sorban tells me that there's an island around here called Labuan Haji, and he thinks that there's people there that are using fish bombing to catch fish. Eventually, someone gives us the name of a man known for fish bombing. There's no guarantee he'll even want to talk to us. This is illegal in this country and he can be locked up for it. So, fish bombing is punishable by 2 years behind bars. So this man doesn't want to show his face. When you're looking to go out bomb fishing, where do you go? Where's the best place to go?
Paling pangusahan ko na Pulau Rannawan inan, Pulau Umaral inan, inan tagisan to pakusahaan to. Na makapulau Kulapuan inan, nerinan, na dilaw na ba? Meron ko rita tabang pasahan na makatawar sab.
This is quite dangerous, obviously, as you're using bombs. Have you ever had any injuries?
Na katawan ko sal makapatay, in makiluan niya na pong tangan na, Naso yan natin pakusaha ba. Kasalba na kayo makusahin na lupa, nabuatero.
When do you next plan to go?
Pahalo.
He agrees to let me come with him. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Amaya ka.
It's not hard to see the appeal for this guy of fish bombing. He buys a bomb for £3, then he's got food to last his family for weeks. But I was most shocked by the fact that he looks for coral when he's doing this, because as he gets the most fish. The next morning, I set off to meet up with the fish bomber at a coral reef out at sea. He's confident the police won't find him there. Sabah is a place with hundreds of islands, massive amounts of coastline and pretty much endless amounts of open water like this. And as well as that, there's piracy going on here. So you can see how big of a job this is for the police. After half an hour of searching, we find our man and his crew. This is reasonably out in the open. I mean, there's another boat over there, another boat over there. You can see the islands. Where's the bomb? Okay. Shows how simple the bombs are. It's literally a bottle with some fertilizer in it. All right, so we'll follow you guys. One of the men searches underwater for living coral. He knows that's where they'll find the most fish. They stop when they find the perfect spot. There we go. Oh my God. Yeah, you can smell the fumes in the air of the fertilizer that's in the bottles. And these aren't like firecrackers, these are actual bombs the size of that explosion. One of the men dives in to start collecting fish. The shockwave from the blast kills or stuns the fish, often liquefying their internal organs. The diver focuses on the bigger fish, leaving most of the smaller fish behind. Where the bomb went off, the coral is destroyed. And a few meters away, the anchor rips through the coral that's still alive. There he is. Can we see what you've got? Look at the amount of fish he's got. Look how happy he is. The tiny ones like that, they just completely ignore it. Looking for another place to throw another bomb. They're just carrying on. And they've got a number of bombs because they are so cheap. Fish bombing's got so bad here, environmental groups say that 15 blasts can be heard every hour. In all, they detonate 3 bombs. What will you do with the fish now? Are you going to sell it?
Ano ko, malaki na pala yan kinakan na. Mga wati tuwalugi lang. Bakit mamain na.
Some people would say what you're doing is selfish. You're destroying the coral just to get some food.
Bilahin ako para magtenda ko ito. Alamin pa ko sa kami ito. Alamin pa makananda ako. Alamin na panganak ko. Ay, mga ko tinabang nabuhat ni Parinta. Naparok na ako. Malako tinabang ito. Pag siyang usaha kayo maglaw. Wala na kayo magkinang Maria pa. Nagaw kami. Parang kayo may law dito. Makakatan kami. Pamahan niya sa ang kanagusan niya pandapat kami. Alam, jangan law ni Ruwa. Saan na kayo.
You think in a place that is being patrolled 24/7 by military and police to stop this exact thing, that these guys would be a bit more concerned about the fact that they've just made a huge scene, but they're not at all, because they do this week in, week out, with pretty much no consequences. From what we can find, only 7 people were arrested in Malaysia for fish bombing in 2016. Half an hour away, on the island of Pom Pom, once home to some of the most beautiful coral in the world, I meet up with Tom Gibson, a marine biologist working for Borneo's Tropical Research and Conservation Centre.
So today we're going to go around to the Rubble Reef. So it's a really badly destroyed site, destroyed by blast fishing.
What would this have looked like before blast fishing?
So before blast fishing, this reef would be comparable to the Great Barrier Reef. It could even be better.
He takes me to the spot worst hit by the blasts. What was once a colourful and thriving reef, a breeding ground and habitat for 2,000 species of fish, is now a barren wasteland that stretches for miles. The World Wildlife Fund estimates that rising sea temperatures have already destroyed a quarter of the Earth's coral reefs. But the destruction here is mostly down to fish bombing. It actually looks like a city that's just been completely burned to the ground. It doesn't look like coral.
This is a result of decades of blast fishing. So this is fishermen coming from local communities, bringing their own homemade bombs and repeatedly bombing the same site. Fish stocks are dwindling out in the open ocean, and this is a quick and easy way to make a catch.
But destroying coral has a knock-on effect. It's a vital nursery and breeding ground for fish. So when it's wiped out, the fish can no longer survive either. Tom and his team are trying to accelerate the regrowth of the reef by harvesting bits of live coral from fresh bomb craters and planting them on these bottles. They provide a solid structure on which the coral can regrow. But much of the damage is irreversible. I've heard the reefs face another threat. Fishermen are using chemicals like sodium cyanide to stun fish, to supply live fish restaurants. To investigate, I head to the mainland. This is Kota Kinabalu, the provincial capital, a big tourist centre. I'm here to meet Terence Lim, an environmentalist who spends his life campaigning to stop illegal fishing methods. If fish bombing continues, if cyanide fishing continues, what will happen?
It'll become like a Sahara, the desert. It will be just either sand or rubble.
Terence takes me to a food hall that's famous for its live fish. People pay thousands of pounds to eat increasingly more rare and more difficult to catch fish. This is one of the places, as you can see right there, there's a lot of live fish up for grabs. It is amazing just the amount of fish that they have. It's a favourite destination for many of the 300,000 Chinese tourists who visit the area each year. In China, eating live fish is pricey. It's an industry worth $1 billion annually. Here, eating rare coral fish is cheaper, and it's something to brag about to your mates back home. Beautiful collection of fish here. Very nice indeed. Hello, how's it going?
Shall we order something here? It looks like a place for to do it, yeah?
How are these caught?
This one, I went they spray it.
Yeah, they spray it with some chemical. This stuff.
Let's try it.
I wait for you.
I mean, he's just admitted that it's sprayed with a chemical.
Yeah.
Is that just acceptable?
I'm surprised that he said it.
Although it's illegal to knowingly sell fish caught using chemicals like cyanide, there is currently no law in place to punish people found doing it. Why is this the most sought after fish?
Because of the texture of the flesh. It's known to be one of the most tender fish, and it has to be alive to keep the quality.
And as a consequence, it's very likely to be caught using cyanide or some kind of chemical.
The possibility is there, definitely there.
So if the police came here could he just say, I didn't know,
Yeah.
and he'd be okay?
Unless they do a chemical test on the fish, that might be a possibility. But I don't see anybody actually doing it.
I head to the city hall to meet Leong Zi Foy, the man in charge of issuing licenses to fish traders. I tell him I've seen fish caught illegally being sold in the live fish restaurant. Do you have law enforcement officers going around these markets trying to check?
No.
It doesn't
It's
happen
only-
enough?
Yeah, no. It's happened on a periodical basis.
If someone sells fish illegally, should their license be taken away?
Yeah, there must be a term that's saying that if your fish is caught from the illegal source, then your license will be revoked or cancelled.
And that doesn't exist at the moment?
No.
It seems quite amazing that in a place that is renowned for things like cyanide fishing and bomb fishing, you can have a licensing system that has no vetting attached to it whatsoever. It's all good and well trying to stop the fishermen out there from using illegal methods, but when here in the capital city, the vendors, the people actually selling these things, don't need to show where they're getting them from, then that's a big issue. I head back one last time to meet Sulban and his family. They've been deciding whether or not to give away their son. So today is a really big day for Sulban and his family. It's not just that they name their newborn baby for the first time. It's the day that they also say goodbye. He's promised to give it to his brother. His brother's going to come and take it after the ceremony and take it to another island. Sulban's brother, Mulbin, has given up the Bajau way of life. He lives on the mainland, feeding his family by working cash in hand in a night market. So how do you feel today? You just gave your newborn son to your brother.
Ya anak ko na ng katpamuan ko malawi ito masyali ko sa lipahop na bela sa ako maiya. Jadi ang ipat ito sa liruwa ko. Kasal magdanakan ko kung kaya.
Will you go to KK to visit the baby?
Mbal. Pasal pamuan ko na maipal ko. Mbal ko may anikay.
What do you hope he becomes in the future? What do you want him to be?
Nabangsa pa maahe anak karatunan. Panduan ko na buat aku maghinang mapasal malam. Amba na buat emak na magtuhon amba na panduan ko. Panduan ko na buat hinang ko maghinang mapasal malam. Sebelum anak-anak kinan ariki maghinang ako pamakan ko iya bangahe. Na panat ko na buat usaha ko maghinang mapasal malam.
The baby is given the name Abdul Abia and is handed over to his new mother to start a fresh life in the city. The next day, Sulban is back out searching for fish. He's told me that if he still can't find food, he too may have to move to the city. The environmental disaster that's unfolding in these waters could be bringing an end to a way of life that's lasted for generations.